What's up, people? This is Nature Girl 30 here, and I'm giving you a Smackdown review for February 3rd. Now, I'm not going to really go into everything like all at once. I'm going to make it kind of a little bit like Pulp Fiction-y. Like, I'm not going to really go in order because there's a few things that I really don't understand about this Smackdown tonight. Number one, I don't completely understand why they decided to do a little vignette about John Cena, about the WrestleMania with The Rock, WrestleMania 28. This match does not need to be promoted. It promotes itself. Everybody is pretty much waiting for the whole John Cena and The Rock match. This does not need to be on SmackDown. SmackDown is struggling enough. They need to focus on SmackDown. I understand if you put it on Raw, because Raw has a lot of solid feuds. SmackDown is really struggling as of late, and SmackDown needs to be sticking to SmackDown business. They don't need to be sticking to WrestleMania, and they need to be also talking about the pay-per-view that's coming up. They don't need to be dealing with anything that comes about WrestleMania at this point in time. Now, I know that, yes, after the Royal Rumble is the road to WrestleMania, but why promote only this match? It doesn't make any sense. They don't even have any solid matches on the card as of yet. They just have a match that pretty much everybody's been waiting a whole year to see. So it really does not need to be it doesn't need to be promoted. But anyway, and it's a Raw event. Anyhow, it's like it's only for Raw, so why does it even matter if it's on SmackDown? But anyway, I'm gonna go towards the intro right now. So the intro pretty much started off with Teddy Long pretty much being in the middle talking about the Elimination Chamber, and he's actually named the participants in the Elimination Chamber match for SmackDown. It's Daniel Bryan, Mark Henry, Big Show, Wade Barrett, Randy Orton, and my boy, Mr. Parkin, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes mark number 2. But anyway, he actually announced who the participants of the Elimination Chamber were, and then Mark Henry comes out. Now, Mark Henry has been a little bit weak as of late as a character, but that shows because he's not going to pretty much be too physical because he's injured. He's seriously injured, and he should not be in any matches, but he has been as of late, which is weird. So I don't know what the extent of his injury is. I have no idea whether or not he's going to pull an Edge, but I mean, I'll get into that a little bit later. He actually did threaten Teddy Long that he was going to, try to force him to change the match, and then Teddy Long, surprisingly enough, grew a set and said, "Hey, back off me, player. You made a mistake touching me, so I'm suspending you." So he actually took him out of the Elimination Chamber match, and that was pretty gutsy on his part. I was surprised that he actually did grow a set of grapefruits and show that, hey, I can handle business. I'm not all that weak. Way to go, Teddy Long. But even better, when he was going to be threatened, here comes Sheamus. Well, Sheamus pretty much doing this whole rescue thing. Bro kicks him in the face. He rolls out, and there you go. But even better than that is Cody Rhodes coming down the ramp. Now, not only did he say that he did all the work at the Royal Rumble, he was in there for 45 minutes, and he eliminated two legends, he also declared and proclaimed that he was going to be the next dual champion. What I mean by that is that Ultimate Warrior, 20 years ago, actually had the IC Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship title at the same time. He declared that he was going to do the same exact thing that the Ultimate Warrior did 20 years ago. I am looking forward to that. I really do think that is going to be a great moment if he actually does win the Elimination Chamber match, and he actually does have both titles, both the IC and the World Heavyweight Championship, and Sheamus is going to be with him at WrestleMania. Can you imagine how great that will be for both of their careers? I mean, for crying out loud. Cody Rhodes has had some great pushes as of late. But can you imagine him being the dual champion? Can you imagine him going down in the WWE history books as having 2 titles at the same time at WrestleMania? Can you imagine that? Not to mention that'd be great for Sheamus. That will be awesome for Sheamus. He will be able to be in the main event WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes. Not only with the IC Championship belt, but with the World Heavyweight Championship belt as well. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? A dual holder being at WrestleMania. And Sheamus fighting the dual holder for the World Heavyweight Championship belt. I am hoping they do that. I will look forward to that match if that actually happens. I am really hoping that happens with Cody Rhodes. But anyway, this actually led to Cody Rhodes versus Sheamus. Now, unfortunately, Cody Rhodes did not win, but it had a purpose. It actually was supposed to promote Sheamus as the Royal Rumble winner because he actually did not announce who he was going to compete against at WrestleMania. So it did its job. But Cody Rhodes still had airtime. He was out there ranting and raving. I don't care because it was Cody Rhodes. Not only that, we had a match that was completely confusing and out of sync to me. I mean, not really out of sync, but it just doesn't make any sense or rhyme or reason why it even happened. I'm talking about Justin Gabriel versus Hunico with Camacho at ringside. I mean, that match was a little bit weird in itself, but even weirder, the Great Khali came out and kind of cleaned house. So that was a little weird. But in the end, that also had its purpose because that showed that the Great Khali was going to be the replacement for Mark Henry after he got suspended. So that had its purpose. So I can't totally hate on that. But I can't hate on this. Natalya. She's been farting every single SmackDown she's been on. For the last SmackDown, she kept farting. Now she's farting here. I'm like, what are they trying to do to her that they haven't done to her already? They've already squashed her in meaningless matches, especially with Alicia Fox, of all people. Then she's constantly farting every night. And now she got beat up by Tamina. So why in the world are they doing all of this to try to completely annihilate Natalya? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand why they're doing it. But the one thing I do like about the Divas match that actually did come up was the fact that Beth Phoenix really is getting pissed off. Now at the Royal Rumble, she was angry. She was very angry. She gave a slap tag to one of the Bella twins. I mean, it's a given she is frustrated, and I'm hoping that they actually do promote this and move forward to her having a decent feud. The only person that can have a decent feud with her, in my opinion, is Karma. But I have no idea when she's going to be back or if she's back at all. She did make her debut at the Royal Rumble after a long time, but unfortunately, we have not seen her as of late, so I have no idea if she's a full-timer right now. So who knows where that's going to go. But the one thing that also kind of pissed me off was AJ still being involved in this dumb storyline with Daniel Bryan and the Big Show. I don't like women in the feuds with men. I'm sorry, I just don't. Unless you're China and you can handle yourself. This chick is a waif. You can blow her away. No, I'm sorry. They need to take her out, and I'm hoping that she'll break up with Daniel Bryan so they can finally end this ridiculous thing. And then the whole thing with the Big Show and Daniel Bryan will finally come to a head. I'm hoping without her. I'm hoping so because her being involved in this feud is really just pissing me off. But another thing that really did kind of bother me was the main event of the night. Now, the main event was Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton in a no DQ. How many times have we seen this? 3? And not only that, it ended cleanly. Why? I mean, you have 2 major opponents with a really good feud going on to Elimination Chamber that's probably within 3 weeks, and you're going to end it cleanly. That's going to make Wade Barrett look weak. You kind of want to make both of them look strong before going in Elimination Chamber. But now it's going to make Wade Barrett look weak, like he can't handle himself because Randy Orton took him out. I don't know. I mean, the match itself really wasn't all that bad. As usual, they both really do have great in-ring chemistry. So it was a very entertaining match to watch. I just don't understand the outcome. But all in all, this was not a bad SmackDown. I really did enjoy some parts, and I really did not understand others. So I'm definitely giving it a C for tonight's rating. How do you feel about this? What is your rating for SmackDown tonight? Leave your comments below. If you want to leave a video response, do that as well. I am interested in what you guys think about this. But I'm giving it a C, and I'm sticking to it. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, y'all. See you later.